'cause you will always be the one to hold me. You will always be the one who knows me. You will always be, come on, let me closer to your heart. I'm waiting here for you. Yeah, I know you will always be the.
Welcome back to our channel, or welcome if you are new here. I'm Sierra. I'm a mom of 3. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and become part of our family. If you've been following us for a little bit, you will know that our son, Raiden, who is now, he'll be a year old tomorrow, so crazy, but he had a battle with febrile seizures. I had never experienced a febrile seizure before, and to be honest, I didn't even know what a febrile seizure was. Keep it short, he woke up one night out of nowhere, just had a little bit of a fever. I gave him Tylenol, put him to bed, and he woke up in a full-blown seizure. I didn't know what was going on. We rushed him to the emergency room and stayed a couple of days there, and then we did find out that he was having febrile seizures. So a lot of people have been asking me a lot of different questions about febrile seizures since Raiden's struggled with them. So this is going to be kind of an informational video, just educating you guys and just letting you guys know a little bit about febrile seizures, because like I said, I honestly had no idea what they were, and when I did find out he was having febrile seizures, I went to YouTube to see if other moms were going through, and I couldn't really find too many videos, so I wanted to put this out there to help anyone who may be going through this, or just to put it out there so that you could be prepared if it were to happen to you. A febrile seizure is an episode of a convulsion in a child, most of the time due to a rapid spike in temperature, and it's most commonly in children under 6 years of age. About 1 in every 25 children will experience a febrile seizure at some point in their life. This risk peaks at 2 years of age. A good thing to know is that the older the child is at the time of their first seizure, the less likely they will be to have another seizure. So, signs and symptoms. More than likely you will know that your child is having a seizure if he is having one. Most seizures occur at a temperature at or above 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. That's kind of the threshold for Raiden's. About 100.4 is when he does start to go into seizure mode, or when he did. He hasn't had one since like 2 days after he got out of the hospital. Loss of consciousness, shaking or jerking of the arms. You may wake up and like you're a little confused by what your child is doing. For Raiden, he was just like shaking all over, and he threw his hands back and just like would stare straight forward and just like be like in this daze, just shaking all over. And then as soon as he would come out of the seizure, he would just scream. He was just terrified. It was so sad. Then should you call 911, or what should you do if your child does wake up and have a seizure? If it is their first one, you always need to follow up with a doctor. I recommend just going straight to Children's Hospital, straight to an emergency room near you. I feel like it would just be a good idea to just get your child checked if they do have a seizure. Call 911 immediately if your child has one seizure followed up right after by another. Call 911 if your child has one lasting longer than 5 minutes, or if the seizure is accompanied by vomiting or any kind of breathing issues, you want to call 911 immediately. And actually, I did want to mention that Raiden is actually, they gave him an emergency medication if he were to have one over 3 minutes, and it's like a rectal kind of syringe, and it's actually diazepam, and it just would relax the body. And if you do have to administer diazepam, especially for the first time, you need to call 911, is what I was told. In the event of a febrile seizure, you should stay calm. I know it's so hard when you wake up and you're in shock because your child is having a seizure, but you should stay calm. You'll be terrified, but you want to be able to help your child as much as you can, and you can't help them when you're freaking out yourself. They're going to be terrified coming out of the seizure, and you need to be able to soothe them. If you are freaking out, then they're going to freak out. If your child is in a seizure, what you need to do is you need to lay them on their side so that any saliva that is accumulating in their mouth can drain out of the side of their mouth. Do not try to stop their movements. Don't try to hold them really tight. You just need to let it do its thing. You need to loosen their clothing if they have any restricted clothing. Put something soft under their heads, like a pillow, always. You mean, if your child's having a seizure, you're going to be right there with them, but just monitor the whole seizure. And do not force anything between your child's teeth. They will not swallow their tongue. I was told a lot of people think that when someone has a seizure, they can swallow their tongue, but if they're on their side, it's highly unlikely that they're going to do that. You don't want to hurt them or yourself by trying to force something into their mouth. Really no treatment for febrile seizures because it's not like epilepsy or something like that has to have a daily medication. It's just something that happens when a child gets a fever. You just have to be kind of cautious in the future. Raiden we found out he had croup, and that's the reason he was having the febrile seizures, but after that sickness he hasn't had one again. So there is hope. If you have a child who has had febrile seizures, it doesn't mean that they're going to keep having them. I mean, it could, but if they do, you're educated now. Like, you know how to handle it, and it's terrifying, but you have all of the information packed into your brain to know what to do and how to react to the situation. To kind of keep the febrile seizures away, you just need to stay on top of that fever. You need to try to constantly be bringing that fever down. Never give your child aspirin for the fever. I don't really know the reasoning. I should have looked that up before doing this video, but I was told never give your child aspirin for the fever. You want to do either ibuprofen or Tylenol, obviously infant or children's, depending on your child's age. You kind of have to see which one works better for you. For us, it was Tylenol. Raiden's fevers always responded better to Tylenol than the ibuprofen. Also, a sponge bath with lukewarm water can help bring the fever down. You never want to put them in cold water. It can make the whole situation worse. Then you also never want to use ice to try to cool them down. It can throw their body into shock and cause them to actually have a seizure, so you never want to do that. So now I'm going to introduce you to a lifesaver of mine. I can't believe that we went without this. I wish I would have had this when Raiden first came home from the hospital with his febrile seizures, because I stayed up for 3 days straight just watching him, making sure that he was not having any more seizures, and also monitoring his temperature probably every 30 minutes to an hour. I was terrified. It is the Feverscout. So the Feverscout is a soft wearable thermometer. It continuously reads your child's temperature, and it wirelessly transmits the information to your smartphone or tablet. The first thing you're going to do is download the Feverscout app. You're going to create an account, and then you're going to add your child on there, and then you're going to set a temperature alert. So for us, for Raiden, we have chosen 100.1 degrees Fahrenheit. That seems to be when he would go into seizure activity, is a temperature of like 100.4 or higher. So we just did 100.1, so we would be notified if he gets a temperature in the middle of the night. We can go in there and give him some Tylenol, and he can rest peacefully. It's super easy to set up. And then you're going to place the 3 AAA batteries in this little guy right here. And then you are going to place the patch into the dock here, and it's gonna light up. And then you're just gonna use your phone to follow the on-screen instructions to set up the patch. You just place it on your phone, and it will pair through Bluetooth. You're going to remove side 1 of the adhesive. You're going to line it up with the metal temp sensor on the hole right here. You're going to line it up with that. Then you're going to peel the other side of the adhesive, and then you're going to take this purple end right here and put it directly under their arm. They sell these refill kits online for only $7.99, so that's a killer deal. By the way, I wanted to mention that Feverscout is available in store at Best Buy, online at Target and Amazon. Make sure you get the purple right here. And you're going to place it under their arm like this. And then, go ahead. And now you can track their temperature. It takes it a couple minutes to warm up. But after that, it just continuously measures their temperature, and like I said, it will alert you if their temperature goes beyond whatever you set as their fever alert. I absolutely love this product. It has given me so much peace of mind. I think it's a great thing to have for a child with febrile seizures, for a child that's never had a febrile seizure. Just if you have a child in general, it's so amazing to be aware and have these on hand. So these are available at Best Buy in store. They're available online at Target.com and also Amazon. I will definitely leave a link down below in the description box. I highly suggest you check them out. Like, I just can't imagine, now that I have it, I can't imagine living without it, honestly. I'm able to get rest at night when Raiden is sick because of this thing right here. I know that I will be alerted if his temperature does get high and he needs to have medicine. So thank you so much to Feverscout for teaming up with me for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any experience with febrile seizures, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your story. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in our next video. Bye.